Thought we did a lot of good things in our last one against Wisconsin, who's very good. Wisconsin's got a heck of a club. And really pleased defensively with what we did on their really their three-headed monster on the perimeter. And thought we were very focused there. Thought we did have, I thought Colin Boswell was just outstanding in his work. I thought offensively, our next actions after the initial advantage was gained was maybe as good as we've had, and then I thought we did a really good job on the offensive glass. So as we move into Tennessee, so much respect for Rick. Selfishly, when this series was being talked about, and I knew the opportunity to play Rick's teams would always make our team better. And tough guy. They play tough. They're going to make you earn everything. And so, you look at scheduling an opponent like that, you know exactly what you're going to get. And I played his teams at SFA when I was a head coach, and then Kansas State when he was at Texas. A lot of respect, and he's won everywhere he's been, and you know what, I understand what that takes to be a winner and do it at every stop. So this is a very, very good basketball team. They have earned the right to have their ranking, in my opinion. There's some veterans. They've probably done as good a job of evaluating portal guys and their impact there. Lanier kid is a terrific shooter and averaging 20 a game. He averaged 24 a game at North Florida and has just not missed a beat. Ziegler, he's what we had in Trent Frazier, kind of an old guy that just does everything at both ends of the court. The head of the snake. Akpara has given them, the transfer from Ohio State has given them, some size and athleticism and length at the rim. I think they're one of the top teams in the country in dunks. And then Milicic is a terrific player, 6'7", and drives it, shoots it. He makes them go offensively. They're smart. It's a team that is well put together. There's a lot of really good pieces that match and fit, and then Rick's instilled his toughness and discipline in that team. So looking forward to an opportunity to play a really good basketball team and get our team better, and hope it's all of that tomorrow.
You mentioned that with Tennessee. Obviously, toughness is one thing that really comes to mind. Your teams have always had that. Where do you feel like this one in particular is in that process of becoming how tough you need to be on your side of things?
They'll challenge us in ways. I'm kind of glad we played the Northwestern game now. In terms of the physicality of what that game brings, I think there is they play different than them, but because they play fast and they're very, very free flowing on offense. They're a great team in the randomness of the game. Because they're efficient and they're high IQ. You're just going to have to earn everything for 40 minutes, and I think we're getting there, and I think we've made huge strides. Alabama and Arkansas and all those teams pose different problems, and they're tough in their own way. But the consistency with which Rick's group is 40 minutes. They take very, very, very few possessions off, if any.
Coach, what's your thoughts on the pace in this game? Would you prefer to speed these guys up? I think they're playing at 66 possessions, very good in the half court defensively.
We're gonna play the way we play. We're gonna play. We're gonna try to be as efficient as we can. We'll take our opportunities. You've got to, you got to make some shots and find some easy baskets, and not face that initial shell all the time of their defense, which is very good. But we've got to do what we've got to do. We're not going to shy away. We think we've got really good players in depth, and we'll try to play the way we can best suits us.
With KJ, to maybe know kind of who he was as a player when you got him, as what he's done this first month plus, been equal to that, more than that? What's the lead on there?
Would be hard to argue that he's, at least in my time, as high usage as he is, as much as he's got the ball in his hand. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was surprised at him defensively, how solid he's become on that end. Offensively, I knew there was a maturity, I knew there was a feel and a read, his ability to read. I've been really impressed with how much he studies the game and how hard he works at it. But I'm not, I think that's one of the advantages of some European kids is, the competition doesn't bother him. I mean, he's played high-level guys his whole life, and played with a lot of, and been around a lot of great players. So the impact he's had on his teammates maybe is a little bit of a surprise, because it's been so impactful. And from a leadership side of things, from making them better, from elevating their games, that's pretty hard to do. But he's been every bit as good as we've hoped.
Along those lines, Kylan said KJ is dominating every game, and obviously he's really well regarded in terms of how people see him at the next level. I guess, what has he shown you through the first month of the season?
Poise, inability to not let, his maturity is the next play mentality. And, he had one of the kind of a goofy turnover the other night where he jumped in the air and coughed it up. And he has one of those a game, or, two of those, and you just look and you go, what the heck? And it's the next play. It doesn't rattle him. It doesn't bother him. He just, and I've literally, not getting upset with him. I don't. That doesn't bother me. He's got to make plays for others and for everybody else. So, he struggled early shooting it. For his standards. But obviously, that's something he's starting to get a little more comfortable with, and take what the defense gives him, but he's been pretty good.
Brad, you've obviously played a lot of great non-conference opponents, but often on neutral courts. How nice is it to have a home and home where you're on campus, and how tough is that to schedule, and would you like to see more of that with this series?
I would like to see them all. I'd like to see as many as we could play. I'm a huge fan of. I think it made college basketball great. I think it still makes it great. I think there's unbelievable environments created. I think it's. I'm appreciative of how we get to bring Tennessee in here in front of our fans, and we got to go in front of their fans, and I just think it's. I understand the neutral site stuff, but I hope to play 1-2 of these every year against really quality people, and it's a really fun environment. The buzz that it creates is fun and exciting, and I think that Rick kind of looks. I know it made us better last year going in front of their 21 or 22,000, whatever was there in their environment, and I hope he feels like it makes their team better as they move into the league. And so it's they're usually early in the year, so everybody gains a lot and they gain a lot of experience. But I think it's great for college basketball, and I'm going to try to do the best we can. They're hard to find. Not everybody wants to do it, but Rick's not afraid, and I'm not afraid, and so we're going to play him.
You mentioned their environment last year. What do you envision tomorrow looks like, given it's the #1 team in the country and a huge opportunity for you?
I think we've been a lot of really quality games here in this building, and I think this building's electric. We've got the best fans in the country, got the best students. I'm glad they get to experience something they maybe don't. A Tennessee team that happens to be #1, and it's a different opponent, but the game itself is still, we've had a lot of those with Iowa, Indiana, Michigan State, Michigan. You go right on down the list in our league. Arizona a few years ago. It's fun to play these games, to be honest, and it's what these guys come to this program to be about. And so I expect it to be a great environment, and I hope the game lives up to it.
KJ talked about the first few games of the season. He was taking what the game gave him, facilitating maybe more than scoring, and said he just may need to be a little more assertive offensively for himself. Did he just need a reminder that he can do both?
Yeah. I think there's that fine line with the freshman. A young guy. How much do you want to give them? How much do you want to expect from them? How much do you want to demand and not push overload? And for him, he just took what came to him early, and it was so impressive to see, because he was really dominating the game with assists and passing and 5 or 6 shots, and then all of a sudden there's a different coverage, and okay, now I got to go score, and now we've seen that he's able to do that as well.
What specifically does Rick do every year with his defense? Is that so different? Because I watched them play Louisville this year. They only scored 55. You know how Pat wants to play offensively, and they play Alabama twice a year, and they barely get to 70. It just seems like there's this mind trick of suddenly teams just don't do what they normally do against Tennessee.
We'll see, they hit you, they hold you, they fight you, they punch you, they knock you on your ass, they rebound. He's a tough guy, and then he demands that they play so doggone hard, and it's every single possession, and it's you've got to be sharp, and you've got to be into that. It's no different than when he had Durant at Texas. His teams play the same way defensively, and you've got to find ways to get easy baskets. Be very honest, you play a lot of opponents when you can sneak some easy baskets because they break down. I've never been to one of his practices. I would love to go, because my guess is they're hard as hell, and they're demanding, and the expectation is such. And it's one of the reasons I want to play him, because we try to be that too. It's a great judge of where we're at when you go up against that.
Just one more about KJ. Just getting to know you and how much you value the ball in each possession, but did it take some adjustment for you to?
A lot.
Yeah.
It was Marcus last year. It's the same thing. I mean, Marcus was going to throw one into the third row. He was going to get a ball taken, and it's just like, okay, you're going to have the ball in your hands a lot. Just get him out of the way. And I think I told Marcus, drop kick it once, and will make me feel good, and then just get it out of your system, and then you settle in. And there's some of that, and I've kind of taken the Luka mentality a little bit, where Luka's going to turn the ball over too, but they're making so many plays. But the thing with KJ is most of them are because he's trying to make the right read, or he makes the, what he sees is the right play, and I'm good with those.
Coach, how has Will's week of practice been, and has that physicality of Tennessee been even more of a focus with him?
I don't know. Ask Rick. He's been great in our practices. You know, the thing I want Will to do is shoot open shots. He turned down 2 or 3 or 4 open shots the other night to try to drive the ball. But yeah, Will's an elite shooter. You know, he had a lot of success early. He's at the top of the scouting report. For a lot of people, when he checks in the game, it impacts what other teams do. You know, he's missed some shots that he's normally going to make, and I just don't want him to be hesitant. I want him to shoot open shots.
Coach, seems like an improvement from game to game in terms of eliminating scouting report mistakes on defense. A big improvement from Northwestern. Are you pleased with what you've seen from that, and does that importance of that increase exponentially, you think, on Saturday?
No, I think that we do get better. And I told somebody the other day, I said, I think we get better sometimes play by play. You know, we can get beat one play and we don't get beat the second play. The second time, we get better every day. This group is really fun and enjoyable to coach because of that. They continue to improve. Games like this, games like Alabama, games like Arkansas, games like Oakland, all those games, Trey White made a scouting report play on a button hook post up that we literally covered one time. We talked about it, and Tanjay snapped it back and posted, and Trey White was right on top of it and handled it perfect. Those are the things that you get really proud of as a coach, because you talk about it, and now guys are starting to stay mentally focused, more mentally non-relaxed. Those are where teams like Tennessee take advantage of teams that relax. We can't. And Kylan Boswell early in the year was relaxing a couple times off the ball guarding guys, and they got him. Now he's not. And those are things that as a coach you're really proud of, because scouting report mistakes are what we try to eliminate as much as doing our basic fundamental things as often as we can. So when we can do those, take away another team's strength, we're cooking with gas.
Tuesday was kind of the full Trey White experience. What's important for him to make that repeatable?
Keep doing it with the same effort, the same mental focus, the same pride. Will he have 23 every night? I don't know. Makes one of the biggest plays of the game, on an offensive rebound, on a tip. His effort, his consistent effort was the thing that was great, and then I thought his defensive focus was the best it's been, and that's, when you're mentally dialed in and you compete and you compete, not just play hard, but you compete at a high level. It's amazing how that ball goes in sometimes.
I know you wanted to get into your bench a little bit more after the Northwestern game. Where did you find yourself on the balance of that against Wisconsin? And
Better, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I think that those 3 starters played really well, and so you kind of rode them a little longer than maybe I had, but I thought we got great production from Draven. I thought Will got us some easy baskets and gave us some minutes. We looked at some different lineups. We actually slid Trey over a little bit, played a little smaller some, with Will, but I thought, Merez was terrific. I saw some of our starters' minutes go down a little bit, but and the bench go up, but I thought we were good.
Coach Ty seems to be active and cheerful on the bench. Has he provided about what you hoped he would in practice and on the bench in this new role for him?
He's been elite. He heads our scout team every day. He was terrific today. He's terrific every day. You're talking about a really, really good human being. Good kid. He always cares about his teammates. He's pulled guys aside and talks to them about situations. He talks in a huddle, and pulls guys over and on the bench and talking to them. I go down a good amount in the course of a game and ask him what he sees, what he likes, is there anything, that he's seeing that I may not be, and there's a different perspective sometimes when it's a player. So he's been outstanding.
If this game is what you think and pretty much what we all think is going to be physicality wise, is Morez primed maybe to have an impact tomorrow just because of the way that he can play right now?
Morez is going to have an impact in a lot of games because of physicality, and tomorrow won't be any different. I think that his athletically he's gifted, and he's 260 pounds, and he's strong, he's quick off the floor. Excuse me. So I think that absolutely he's a big part of what we do in every game, and like I said, I should have played more in the Northwestern game, and his value is very important to this team.
What's your thoughts, Coach, in terms of matchups against their backcourt? And I know you've played with some good teams, but is this the best group of guards that you guys have faced so far?
I'll tell you that after the game. I don't know. I mean, they're really good. I mean, there's no doubt. I think that the last group we played, and I made the comment a while back that I thought Wisconsin was one of the 4 best teams in the country that I had seen, and Tennessee's in that group. I think that we saw Zakai last year a lot, and we know how he impacts the game, and he's old and very, very strong, even though he's not real big. But I think Lanier is one of the best shooters in college basketball, and you start adding Gainey to that. You start adding Meshack, whose impact on the game is doesn't always show up in numbers, but he's just a rough and tumble, do everything Rick asked, and so those pieces all fit together. And then you throw Gainey in there as a 4th guy that is just an elite catch and shoot guy and shooter, and that 4 is pretty good. I think Alabama's were pretty good. I think I think Arkansas's guys were pretty good. I mean, so I'll ask me that after the game, and I'll probably give you a better answer, a more informed answer. But I know what I like. They're really good.
Coach, win or lose, it's still just December. Can you talk a little bit about how you keep your team level-headed and focused one game at a time for the end goal of the season?
It's just literally just worry about the game. We're not talking about anything other than that. I mean, it's for lack of a better way, it's just the simplification of trying to get better every day. We keep talking about it. We learn stuff every day. This group is fun because they're so coachable, they're so teachable, they want to learn. It is really fun to be around these guys, and this group asks so many questions, and most guys think they have all the answers, and this group knows they don't, so they ask, and they want to learn. And so as long as they keep that fresh mindset and that it's not stale, we're working really hard at every day. We kind of, maybe there's a certain monotony to our practices because we're doing our fundamental things every single day, just trying to get great at them. But man, they keep wanting more and more and more in terms of asking questions. So, and this, or we knew this going in. This was going to be a path to get to the end of the season. There's going to be a lot of learning going on. This group's been great listeners so far.
Brad, maybe the storyline of number 1 coming to town is more for the outside. It has been 11 years since number 1 has played here.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Indiana.
Wow.
Tyler Griffey at the buzzer. But
Doesn't look our notes. You don't read our game notes.
What's that?
You don't read our game notes.
how do you
I don't read anything. You guys realize I don't read anything, so.
How do you see that, the build up, what it means for the fans, just that it's been that long?
It's unbelievable for college basketball, and we're one of the elite programs in college basketball, and you don't just sell out games and have your Orange Crust students buy tickets in 26 minutes, and every now and then you get thrown that nugget, and I didn't know it was 11 years. You guys think I'm kidding when I tell you I don't read any of your stuff. I don't, or Derek's. So it's the absolute best, because the fan experience to me is what makes college basketball special. And to be able to do that here in Champaign, I'm happy for our fans. I'm happy for our students. I say my true job is to create a memory. And, I hope there's some young kid tomorrow that's maybe this is his first game. And he can talk about his moment in State Farm Center and create a lifetime memory that makes him maybe want to go to the University of Illinois, makes him want to wear an orange jersey or go buy a Will Riley jersey or a Merez jersey. And is there anything greater than that? And I still remember my first college basketball game and that I went to, that my dad took me to, and to me that is, man, those are moments you cherish. And you got fraternity brothers getting together, sorority sisters getting together, families getting together, and they come and they have a heck of a time and create a memory that I hope is a good one. But it's what makes this special, and the fact that it's number one, maybe that adds a little more of a little more to it. But damn, it's good stuff, man. I mean, we're blessed we get to do what we do.
Rick brought number one to Manhattan in 2010. Do you remember anything about that? I will tell you, Jacob Poland and company got the win.
Man, Jake was good. I think they're you always know what you're getting when you get a Rick team, and again, the team was, that team was good, and we had a good night, and there's always a level of emotion after that, and there's a sense of accomplishment, and I hope we hope we play well enough to have that opportunity.